Guys, the collective this week is about finishing something. For some of us, it's a joyful celebration that the project is finished and it was successful. For others, it's finished and it didn't work out. And so you've got to draw a line under it. For others, it's like someone else made the decision about our project and said no or yes. But because we're a collective, the point is, how do you celebrate and how do you decide when it's time to move on? And I think the important thing is when you have the feeling that it's not in your power, I think the feeling is how can we nurture ourselves so that we have a sense of having power and agency in our life. And I think always it's like, how do we stay grounded? And I think the irony is resting our mind, like through meditation or a big walk, is one of the best ways to stay grounded, and it keeps you in touch with what's really important. And what's really important is to keep going, and maybe that means setting a new goal. But there's no point setting a new goal unless you acknowledge that the other thing is finished. And so whether you like it or not, we are entering a new beginning. But it's like, let's take time out to be grounded and set realistic goals or inspiring goals that keep us on track. And I really love this example of it. These are two fours. So this one is the Four of Cups and this one is the Four of Swords, which I often think of as like time to retreat, maybe clear out the disappointment from the last project or the excitement of the last project, and just gently create a fresh goal. But before you create the fresh goal, you need to clear out maybe the foggy-headed celebration or the sad, concentrating on what didn't work out, the disappointment. Either way, we need to clear the space you work in, or which is kind of saying clear your mind so that you really do begin this fresh beginning in a nice, gentle way so that you can move on and be open to working with others or working with new people or being open to a successful outcome for the fresh project. So I really like to go for a walk to get really clear about what are realistic goals for me. And how do you know when you complete something? You have to have a goal. So for some people that's really scary to commit to something, to say, okay, this is what I want to achieve by this time. So, you might need to either go for a walk to get clear with that, or write in a journal to get clear with that, of how, what goals you want to set. Do you want to work with other people? Do you need to engage the help of someone that's more strategic or better at structure than you? And I think for the people that are in the wash after a disappointment, let things settle a little bit. If a decision's gone against you, and get the water that you swim in nice and clean again. Like, treat yourself to something because you did all the work but it just didn't work out. Give yourself something that helps your self-esteem hold you up and your shoulders back. It's a really interesting week. But I think, a good image for this week is a fish. A little fish swimming in the ocean. So it's constantly moving. Are you swimming in beautiful clean water, or do you need to swim somewhere where it's cleaner? Do you swim solo or in a group? So one gives you safety, but sometimes you're in the middle, sometimes you're at the front, sometimes you're at the back in a school of fish. But if you're solo, like you know, you're more exposed, but you don't have to compromise with other people. But just the idea of this constant movement, it's like, if you're just always moving, then how do you know you've made it? So give yourself, honor the need for a goal, and be brave enough to commit to a goal, because you have to either make it or not make it. And it's just a way to make the big ocean of possibilities just a bit safer and more manageable and clearer to you, so that you know when you've finished, you've reached the finish line, and now it's time for something else. It's a nicer way to treat yourself. Yeah, but this for some reason is really making me think, is your space clear? Is there some practice you need to engage to clear your space after the end of the last project? You know, do you need to throw out some pieces of paper where you did all the planning, or do you just need to sweep your studio so it's nice and fresh? Yeah, and I think the other thing too is, when you're in a project, you've mined a certain ground, like you've ploughed it, and you've got like you know, like all these rows for things to grow, and now the harvest was either successful or not. But now, like, let's clear the field and give it a rest, ready for the next thing. So, and the idea of clearing it so that you're not just going down the same path again and repeating, like, honor your creativity or your imagination to want to try something new, and you need fresh ground to plough and to plant the new things. You know, is it going to be independent? Is it going to be with other people? What materials do you need? Do you need to create a budget? All those exciting things. Yeah, so good luck, congratulations or commiserations, but on we go.